You're watching 7 River Sports here on KQEG. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, and fitness. Well, today we're joined by two great senior student athletes from Luther High School, Kaitlyn Kennedy and Synda Prostman. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back by popular demand. They were on the show a while back, and we had so many calls and so many emails that we felt we should get them back on again. So, welcome back. Starting with Kaitlyn, what an incredible sort of relationship we have here, coincidence we have here, connection we have with you and your three brothers who have been on the show, and a remarkable family. Is that hard to live up to what your three brothers have accomplished?
Yeah, kind of. They're all good athletes, but I mean, I feel like we're all our own kind of athlete in different ways. So, but yeah.
You're your own kind of athlete. You are, and I've watched your three brothers play. I've watched you play. What kind of athlete are you?
I don't really know. I don't know. I feel like we all have the same kind of competitive attitude and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like we all play in different ways. So.
I think your point about competitiveness is correct. Your brothers, I know, played with that spirit of competitiveness, and you do too. Well, Synda, you've been on the show before too, and you have that same sense of competitive greatness, competitive spirit, and as a basketball guard, as a softball, and so on. So. You bring some special qualities to Luther, too. What are those?
To Luther? I think I see myself as a leader in the school, bringing positivity where I can and kind of just bringing an uplifting spirit and helping people in all different friend groups kind of just merge as one big family in the school.
Well said. Have you always been a leader?
I haven't always seen myself as one, but my sophomore year I was chosen by the faculty to go to a leadership conference, and that's kind of when my eyes opened up to it, and I started holding myself to higher expectations.
Well, that was your biggest takeaway?
Yes.
So you did not think you had achieved what you could have prior to that?
Yes.
Are you happy with yourself at all, Kaitlyn? I mean, a lot of people, young people, are not satisfied. They're in a temple of, like, uncertainty. And it's concerning to me. And you seem like you're comfortable in who you are.
Yeah, I mean, I love my school and my friends, and yeah.
You know, I've said this many times when we broadcast games at Luther. I've said that it's one of my favorite schools to go to, because of the values, even just looking at the sayings that are painted on the wall, the slogans and so on. No different than going to Luther College in Decorah, Iowa, the games I go and referee college. It's just something special. I've told your Joe Babinick, who's the AD and former coach, that. I've told John Bias that. I think there's something special at faith-driven school. Describe for our viewers, Kaitlyn, Luther High School if they've never been there.
Well, I think if you walk in Luther for the first time, you're going to see a bunch of kids that treat you very nicely and always have a good Christ-centered education there.
And Synda, too, is there the biggest takeaway as you are set to graduate now in the next few months, biggest takeaway that you will take to this next chapter in your life? What would that be?
I think I'm really going to miss being in the Word every day, even if it's just for the little 15 minutes that we get to do together in the chapel. I think I'm going to want to put myself in the Word more and do self-devotions and do kind of stuff like that.
So meditation, reflection, and all those kinds of things. I know that's what it's all about, and that's why I encourage people to check out Luther High School. A lot of good schools, but you study the Bible. Talk about maybe your favorite biblical verse, chapter, story.
I like the verse, it's also my confirmation verse, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, give you hope in a future. And I think that really helps in times when we're like uncertain about the future, like here getting ready for college and applying and doing all that kind of stuff. Just like when we're worried about that, we can always just look back at that passage and know, hey, God's got it.
Now, you're a competitive athlete, like Kaitlyn. Does the spirituality aspect sometimes, is it a challenge for you?
I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but I know like when something doesn't go my way in the game, I have to remind myself, hold your composure, just know that you're the bigger person here and that we're playing for God, we're not playing for ourselves.
You know, I know your whole family, as I said in the introduction, Kaitlyn, and brother's been on the show, know your mom and dad real well. And I know you're well-grounded, solid roots and so on. So you've been involved in the private school, and your deep spirituality and spiritual. And so talk about your favorite verse, your favorite lesson, your favorite story.
My favorite verse is Philippians 4:13, which is also my confirmation verse. I can do all things through him who gives me strength. And before games, like I always think about that, just knowing that you can do anything through him.
So who's had the biggest influence on your life, spiritually and perhaps athletically?
Spiritually, well, honestly, my dad, because he always talks to me about basketball a lot, and he always just reminds me that we're playing for him always, so my dad, I'd have to say.
Are you hard on yourself?
Yeah, I guess.
Most athletes are.
Yeah.
Who's had the biggest influence on you, Synda?
Spiritually, I'd say it's my mom. She's always been the one that like encourages me to pray about things and to go to God, but definitely for athletics, my dad.
I watch you play as a broadcaster. I've refereed some of your games. You probably don't want to remember those, but so I've seen you firsthand. What do you want people to see when they watch this show or when they watch you compete as a fan on TV? What do you want them to see about you, Synda?
I want them to see that I'm not like most high school students, that I hold myself to higher standards and work to those standards, and just I want my life to reflect the way I feel about God.
What do you want them to see when they see you play, Kaitlyn?
I want them to know that I'm a Christian on the court, on and off the court, so if anything bad happens in the game, like, just know that I always am playing for God, so I want everyone to know that.
Academics is a big part of you. We talked about it last time you were on the show, big part of Luther High School. Talk about the challenges academically and what your life is like, a regular school day for you, Synda.
Waking up in the morning, living half an hour away is not always fun, but I know I have to do it. And I like going to school. These past snow days haven't been too fun for me because I don't have a lot to do. I actually enjoy going to school, and even just being surrounded by people is better than being at home. And then just like finding the balance of homework, not overworking yourself. And sports is good with that because you're able to take your mind off of it for a while.
So the takeaway I get, because throughout my career I worked with a lot of young people that did not have a good experience in high school, did not want to go to school. In fact, hated going to school. And the advice I would always give them was get involved in some activity so you're part of the school. So you take some pride, because when you go to class reunions years later, you don't talk necessarily about school and classes and academics. You talk about all the things you've been involved with after the school bell rings at the end of the day. Get involved. Would you agree with that at all,
Yeah,
Kaitlyn?
for sure.
And how do you, what's your school day like, and is it a challenge academically for you?
It's kind of just about time management. Like, you go to school, and then there's basketball practice till 5, and then you really just have to plan out. You really have to use your study halls like wisely, and you have to plan out your night so you can get your homework done for school the next day.
Yeah, and you didn't like these snow days either, where you were home. Because then you probably had to do some chores around the house, or not?
I mean, some days, yeah, but I don't know. I like snow days, but then also I get bored of them quickly.
Do you have a part-time job?
No.
No, you have too much going on. I imagine, Synda, your part-time job is school too, or not?
Yeah, I mean, I do some babysitting for my pastor when I can, but that's hard to find time for.
Pretty hard when you're submerged in all kinds of activities. Well, we're going to talk more with Kaitlyn Kennedy and Synda Prostman about life as a student athlete at Luther High School right after this.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
And welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Again, our guests today, Kaitlyn Kennedy and Synda Prostman, back by popular demand from the fall. Part of the Luther High School girls basketball program. We've done several games, and we always enjoy going to Luther High School, as I said. We taped the show here on February 14th, Valentine's Day. I'm sure you guys had plenty of Valentines when you opened up your locker this morning at school, and Valentines just flew out of the lockers onto the floor from all your secret admirers. Is that right, girls?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you have a special routine, a special thing that you practice as on Valentine's Day, Synda?
No, definitely not.
Isn't there something? What's your favorite Valentine's Day ever?
Probably this one.
Is there a reason?
Well, I don't know. I have a very great boyfriend.
Oh.
And yeah, and I'm here. I get to spend it with you, Terry.
Oh my goodness! That's pretty special for me. That's a privilege for me to have you, no question about it. And Valentine's Day is special for a lot of people, probably for you too, Kaitlyn, right?
It's a nice day. Yeah, I mean,
Celebrate in any special way? Or is that going to become after the game tonight, after you win tonight?
Yeah.
And by the way, as we tape the show here, you play Viroqua tonight.
Yep.
So, and then, so I didn't let you finish. So is there something you're going to do after that game tonight? Maybe go celebrate?
Probably go get some food with my friends after the game.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And then at Westby on Friday, and then looming in front of the Luther girls basketball team is Brookwood on Tuesday, February 19th, as you start your journey into the postseason. What are we going to see? Synda?
I'm excited for our game on Tuesday. I think we're going to do great. We played them already early in the season, and we played really well. I mean, they're going to come at us, and we just have to be ready for it.
You are ready, aren't you?
Very ready.
Are you looking forward to your last 2 games, Kaitlyn, and then into the postseason for you? I mean, is it a sense of like some sadness maybe that it's about over with?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sad that it's almost over, but this is the most fun part of the season right here, and we just got to take care of our last 2 conference games and then focus on Tuesday.
I want to share something about both of them, starting with Kaitlyn. She reached her 1,000th point on Tuesday, February 5th versus Cashion. 1,000 points. How special is that? I believe only one other player in the history of Luther basketball. I remember, actually, Christina Houlihan scored 1,000 points. She was a 2014 graduate. You had 29 points that night. But can you share for our viewers the emotions when you reach that plateau?
Well, it was kind of hard to believe at first, but then I saw all my teammates running up to me and giving me a hug, and I was just very glad that I could reach that goal with this team. It was a good moment.
And you were part of a run, but 29 points in that game. Was there some divine intervention that maybe was part of that occasion?
I'm not sure.
I'm suspecting there might have been. because it was a special night.
Yeah.
Did you celebrate it afterwards too?
I mean, yeah, a couple of my friends, we all went to go get food after the game, so.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine, was it emotional for your parents?
Yeah, they were really happy to see that I reached that goal, and they were proud.
Right. We're all proud, Kaitlyn. But it's been special for you, Synda, too, because you make winning plays, according to your coach, who sent me a quote, Ryan Svensson, like diving on the floor, going after 50-50 balls, and of course, good athletes visualize their name on those 50-50 balls, and that kind of describes you. As I've watched you as an official, you give extra possessions to your team by virtue of your hustle and your effort, and it's some things that maybe other people don't appreciate, but I do, and your teammates and your coaches and your parents do, about your passion for the game. That's a huge compliment that your coach made about you. Share your thoughts on that.
I've known from a younger age that like basketball isn't my natural sport that I have the natural gift for. So just like working in small ways that you can get better at that don't have to come naturally was what I really focused on, and just doing things that, small things that I could do for the team is like what I focus on, rather than, because I'm not a scorer, doing that for my team, but doing things that can help my teammates score is things that I focus on.
Do you know that statement reveals your character? When I say that, I mean you understand your role, and you're comfortable with that role, and not a lot of people are. You're also involved in the National Honor Society. I mean, like, you're an honors student, volleyball conference, softball, and you are on your way to UWL.
Yep.
Talk about the next journey in your life.
I want to be a teacher, but I want to focus on special education. And that's my plan. UWL only has it as a minor, so I'm going to see what their courses are for the minor and how far I can really expand on it. And then I might look into transferring to UW-Madison, who has it as a major.
Good. And I am delighted to share with our viewers that Kaitlyn Kennedy is going to stay in the area. Talk about that.
Well, Coach Lionel Jones was at a couple of my practices in the summer for my AAU team, the Playmakers. So him and my AAU coach have been friends for a really long time. And I found out that he was going to be their head coach in about September. And then he contacted me late September and talked to me about playing for them. And I really like the La Crosse area, so I'd like to stay there. So that's,
Do you know, I'll bet you a lot of our viewers just got up off their chair and are applauding the fact that both of you and you are going to stay in the area, and that you are going to be part of the V-Hawks, and you are going to major in what?
honestly, I'm not really sure yet. I put down sports management at first, but I think I'm going to try out a couple things because I'm going to have a meeting with the Turbo people to talk about more majors and stuff.
As you get ready to graduate in May, reflections, defining moments maybe in your life as a student athlete at Luther, what would that be?
Honestly, just the past 4 years at Luther High School have definitely been the best 4 years, and I would not want to go anywhere else but that school. So,
when you reflect, because all of us reflect on things that were defining moments and special and maybe things that we can improve on, what would that be for you in your 4 years at Luther?
I think it kind of all led up to Luther. I did all my summer sports and junior nights with Luther, and then it just like made me excited for it. So starting like my winter sports with JV basketball, getting to meet all these new people, and then in the spring just being on varsity my freshman year, just like opened my eyes up to the potential that I had and what I could bring to Luther, and just the whole community of Luther encouraging me all the way.
Is there something that you could share that people may not know about you?
I don't know. I guess I've never moved, and my mom has lived in the same house since she was 14. She just kind of kicked her mom out. When she got married, she just said, "Mom, you're out of here," and my grandma went traveling around, so I don't have too much special.
She wasn't homeless, was she?
No, she got a camper and traveled the U.S., so.
People don't know about who you are, Kaitlyn?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, our team likes to dance a lot in the locker room, and I used to actually be a dancer for like a long time, but like,
really?
I'm not a good dancer, but I was when I was little, but not anymore.
So you said you're not a good dancer. If I asked your teammates to that question, is Kaitlyn a good dancer? Would they say the same thing?
They probably think I'm a good dancer because they always laugh at me, but I don't know.
What's your favorite song?
We turn up. No, I don't really know. I like a lot of songs. I don't really have a favorite.
What style of music do you like? Country?
More like hip hop and rap, probably. If I had to say.
Do you have a favorite saying as a high school senior?
I love the saying, "In Christ alone." It's also a song, and that song, if you just listen to the lyrics, really just hits you hard and just make you so overwhelmed with the love of God. It just makes you want to cry.
You're deep too. You're full of substance, Kaitlyn. Would be a saying that would personify who you are?
This is actually above my mirror in my room. It's, if it's important to you, you will find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. So I think that's a really good quote for me, because if I want to get better at school or sports, like, you have to find a way to do it, and if not, then that's your own fault.
And that describes you, and that's been a launching pad for you to even get better on your journey as a student athlete, hasn't it? Good. Well, again, I'm sure our viewers would agree, special to have student athletes like Synda Prostman and Kaitlyn Kennedy on Seven Rivers Sports. So we want to thank you and wish you the best of luck in the postseason and in the spring and as you graduate. And we appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
We'll be back with some closing thoughts and some highlights of a recent game right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
Who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Well, our broadcasting crew was busy this weekend covering a number of postseason high school games. We have selected 2 of those games to highlight this week. Let's start at the Mark Sutton Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Central High School. For the D2 Regional Championship, the opponent, the Holman Vikings, fresh from a win over Menominee. The second-ranked Red Raiders cruised to a 51-13 halftime lead. They shot an incredible 75% from the field and didn't let up in the second half. 4 Red Raiders finished in double figures. Jordan Davis, 13, David Hayden, 12, Noah Parcher, and Johnny Davis, both with 11. Jimmy Gillespie led Holman with 13 points, including 3 3-pointers. The Vikings end their season with 11 wins and 12 losses. Central moves to 22-2 and will play the Onalaska Hilltoppers in the sectional semifinals on Thursday at the Logan Fieldhouse at 7 p.m. Rick and I will be courtside to bring you all of the action. Final score from Central, the Red Raiders 75 and the Holman Vikings 42. Our other game, the Aquinas Blue Gulls versus the Belleville Wildcats in the sectional finals at Verona High School. The Wildcats put together a solid game plan with a variety of defensive looks in an effort to confuse the Blue Goals, but Aquinas figured it out early and raced to a 44-28 halftime lead. Junior Courtney Becker, a Drake University recruit, was 8 for 10 from the floor and finished with 19 points. She also grabbed 12 rebounds. Iowa State recruit Lexi Donarski led Aquinas with 28 points and 11 assists. Taylor Teash made 6 three-pointers en route to a 20-point game. Final, Aquinas 89, Belleville 53. Aquinas returns to the state tournament in Green Bay and will face 4th seed Milwaukee Academy of Science on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. 2 other local teams are in the state tournament. For the second year, Melrose Medora will play the 3rd-seeded Colby on Thursday, and at 8:30 p.m., the GET Redhawks, the very first appearance at the state tournament, will play Marshall at 1:35 on Thursday. Lots of exciting basketball this week here in the area and in Green Bay. Well, that's it this week on 7 Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping you will have a healthy and an active week.